It's moving day for our Monarch caterpillars, and it's a good thing too, because these leaves are wilted. I picked these 2 days ago, and they're already dry. It's been exceptionally dry here the last couple of weeks, but I picked up some fresh leaves with additional Monarch caterpillars on here, and I'm going to show you the way I move these caterpillars. So what you'll need is a pair of clippers, fresh glasses of water, and obviously your new leaves. One of the most important things about moving these caterpillars are making sure that you can find all of them on the dried leaves. These leaves like to curl, and if you have really small caterpillars, you might miss them if you don't unroll them. I always keep a list of how many caterpillars I have and how many eggs, but I do get a lot more than you guys would. But make sure you keep a list anyways and count when you're moving them. So the first thing I do when I come home and get these new caterpillar plants is I'll have them in the water in my car, but I will also clip them when I get home. Always clip at an angle, the plant not wilt as much. You need a junk pair of clippers for these. You don't want to use them on any of your other plants, because when you clip them, their signature name milkweed, they ooze this white substance, and no matter how much you clean it off, you're going to kind of wreck your clippers. There's a little monarch on this new plant as well, so I make sure to include them in the count. I like to separate my little caterpillars from the big caterpillars. It's early in the season, so the caterpillars aren't that big. So now I'm going to take one of these dried plants, and I'm going to identify where these caterpillars are. And as I pull the flap back on this one, you can see there's not only one but 2 caterpillars in here, and I have another little one hanging around on the stem right now, so I have 3 on one plant. And as I flip it around, I see there's another one, so I actually have 4 on this plant. It is not easy to move these monarch caterpillars. If you try to put them on a new leaf, they're going to reject it the entire time, and they're going to want to stay on their original leaf. I used to just put these old plants inside the water with the new plants, and then when they die off, the caterpillars will move themselves, which is perfectly fine to do, but I find when these plants start going bad, they muck up the water, and I want a healthy environment for these caterpillars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clippers, and I'm actually going to clip around the caterpillars and make sure we're not touching them in any way, and they have a lot of room on the outside, but I'll try to get as close as possible. With this one, I'm going to leave 2 of them on the same leaf to make it easier. And now I have my caterpillars on their leaf. I'm going to put them on this new leaf. They're naturally going to crawl off on their own, but it's really important to put them on there where they're not going to slide back in. We keep it on here. I've had instances where these have slid, which you don't want because they're going to go directly in water and die. But I always put them on the flat part here. And even if you're putting, 4 or 5 on here, as long as it's not going to slip, that's fine. I actually pull these off whenever I'm moving this whole container. If I'm moving it like this, I'm not even leaving them on there. I'll put them on these, and once I have them in the 10-gallon tank, I'll put these on top of here, and then I know they'll be safe. With the last one, I just cut the stem off and left this whole stem for him because I think he's going to move relatively quickly. Once we've ensured that there's no caterpillars left on the leaves, we'll put them in a separate pile for now. I wouldn't throw them in the garbage right away, in case there's somebody left, so our count needs to be right when we're done. I'm gonna rinse out, because as you can see, there is a little bit of fecal matter down there from the caterpillars. Alright, we have our fresh water. I'm gonna put that in there. I'm separating the small plants from the bigger plants. The bigger plants get the bigger glass, the smaller gets the smaller glass. Shot glasses I found to be good. I use a 10-gallon tank for my caterpillars, and it gives me the most room at the bottom. It also has a littler surface area on top, so that the caterpillars are less likely to fall in. Now, if your caterpillars are falling, either A, they're sick, or B, they're chewing themselves off of a leaf and the leaf is falling to the ground. Either way, I don't like that. It's only happened to me once, but I don't ever want to see it happen again. I would fill these up almost all the way. I right now have a little bit in them because I don't trust myself to not spill them on camera, but the shot glasses do dry out a lot faster. That's why I like to use these little plants, and you got to check them every day so they don't go dry. So now we have all our monarchs transferred over. I know it looks silly that they're in the squares, but it's also a good thing to keep an eye on your monarchs and check in with them routinely just to make sure they're doing okay. The one that shed was actually acting really weird yesterday. It fell off the leaf a couple times. I was kind of worried about it, but they do sometimes act weird before they shed. So 14 caterpillars and 2 eggs. I hope you learned something today. Please comment below if you like this kind of content, and I'll see you next time. And this one, we have a whole smorgasbord of caterpillars. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. We'll go through them as we're taking them off. And they're all different sizes, too.